Today is an audio exclusive episode. I find most of my inspiration walking outside, and I have these chit chats with myself, these conversations that I'm like, wow, this would have been so good if I turned it into a podcast. So here I am. And today's thought of the day is based off of a book that I'm reading called The Psychology of Money, which if you have not read it, I would highly, highly recommend it because it has taught me so much, not so much about money, but how I personally view money or how I personally did not view money. One thing that stood out from the book was the game that each of us plays, the role that each of us plays in this world, in our lifetime as we're here, and understanding who we're playing against. Oftentimes, the insight that I got from this book is I'm competing against somebody that is completely different from me, completely different circumstances, completely different life, completely different roles, way of thinking. But I fail to recognize that when I'm playing the comparison game. For example, one of the people that I compare myself to, sounds funny, but very realistic, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a billionaire. And I abandon myself to compare to Jeff Bezos when there's so many different moving factors that I can't compete with, such as age, wisdom, thought process, finances, how he was at 25, completely different. And by me abandoning myself to compare to Jeff Bezos, I overlook the qualities that I do have that could push me forward and ignite me towards that direction, because that's the goal. The goal is the direction and not the person. And I fail to recognize that I'm not the person, but I admire the direction. When things don't go right, at me being 25 versus Jeff Bezos, who I could be wrong, is in his 50s, early 60s. It's not fair for me to look at where I am here and now because I haven't learned the necessary lessons. I haven't even had the necessary tests to put me through that path that he's already endured or could possibly be enduring. The interesting thing about human beings is nobody's ever really honest about what it took to get there, how long it took to get there, and our perceptions are so limited to only what we see. We can only grasp what we see. And even if somebody were to tell us it was the hardest fight of my life, it was the biggest struggle I've ever had to endure, since we can't see it or we couldn't see it and nobody really shows it, how could we believe that when all we see is the glitz, the glam, and everything else? So understanding what game is Emily playing? Asking myself that question was a huge awakening for me because I wasn't playing my game. I'm not playing my game. I'm playing someone else's game. When you play GTA, and by the way, I've never fully played GTA. I've only stolen cars and driven them around on joyrides. But it's almost like when you're playing GTA and there's the person who's just calmly driving their car. They seem fine. And you want to be the person who is calm and is driving their car. Even though you already have a car, they have a nicer car and you want that car. And you're the bad guy who beats up the calm person and steals the car in GTA. And then you drive it and you realize, wait, this isn't even the car that I like. I want to go steal another car. And the reason you're doing that is because you're only perceiving their calmness, their joy, their exterior image. And that's the point, is you're only chasing the exterior and not the interior work that it takes to be that person. To chase the perceived satisfaction of someone else. And that's crazy to me. Because then I got to sit and think, okay, what game am I playing? What am I really playing? What is really important to me? What do I really value? What would I really be distraught about if I lost it? Because we don't ask these questions when we're perceiving other people's lives. What would Jeff Bezos be distraught about losing? Maybe it's Amazon. To me, if I lost Amazon, I would be okay because Amazon is not important to me. What is important to me is my family, my daughter, being there for her, being available whenever she needs me. If I lost that, I would be distraught. So I need to incorporate that in the game that I'm playing, which is I'm chasing totally different things than, say, Jeff Bezos, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, whoever I once idolized as having the perfect life, without recognizing that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as perfect life when we live in a world full of chaos. Everybody is going through something. But since we can't see it, it's hard for us to digest it as truth. But it's true. Me, for instance, I'm going through an interesting time in my life that I once said I would never go through. And I've actually been learning the lesson as I go that you can never say that something's not going to happen to you, because then you limit your thinking process of how to handle it when it does come. And it's here. And every day it's an opportunity to reprogram my mind and understand what is it I'm telling myself that is putting me through this moment, and how can I handle it better? Now I'm not at a point where I'm competing against Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is irrelevant to me right now because I am here and this is my own personal challenge that doesn't apply to anybody else. So I'm back in my game on how to try to figure it out. But this time it's different because I don't want to leave my game to go play someone else's. I want to stay in my game and understand how to play it for longevity. How can I learn from this moment to apply to new challenges that are on the way? Because I can't say this will be the last, but they're coming. And I think just accepting the fact that they're coming and I'm ready for it, and I could program myself to go through it with ease and calmly, I think that's the most important thing, is who you are in the midst of it, not how you can get out of it. Because if you get out of it, you don't learn what you need to learn to not go through it again. And I don't ever want to go through this again, but if I do, I can reference back to this moment. Okay, what was it that helped me through this time? And being honest, hey, this is what it is. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to understand. I don't want to be comfortable. And it's funny when you use your words and you say, I'm up for a challenge. I don't want to be comfortable. I want to constantly grow. And then you're forced to grow. It's uncomfortable. But taking a look at the situation and saying, hey, I'm here today. I'm here now. I have everything that I need today. I'm not worried about tomorrow. I'm not worried about next week. Although it's a lie we tell ourselves, it can help with grounding in moments of chaos. Of course, I think about next week, next month, a few months out, because I'm a mother and it's not about me anymore. I can't just go around floating as if reality doesn't exist. I can't live in other people's shadows when my reality is here and now. And the truth is, we're all figuring it out, figuring different things out at different times in our life. What I'm figuring out now, somebody has already figured out. And that's just the cycle. And that's why people exist, to help each other. But you have to seek help from the right people. Because if you seek help from just anybody, I once heard a quote that said, keep your problems to yourself, because some of the people that you will tell will be happy that it's not them dealing with those problems. And it's true. Some people will just feed off of your venting and use it as fuel, as, I'm so glad I'm not her, instead of finding ways to help you. And that's what this challenge is teaching me right now, is how can I be that person who can help? And I have to go through this in order to learn that. So think about it. What game are you playing? Whose game are you playing? Why are you playing that game?
When you get helpless, get helpful.
That's what I got for my audio exclusive today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Emily Rodriguez, and this is my voice, and this is my story.